summer heat. Nonetheless, Qatar is moving forward with preparations many worry won't be sustainable after the games are gone. Well, Mike Bacco is senior editor at thedailynational.com, and he joins us with more. Well, $200 billion. What is that to Qatar? I mean, that's nothing.
That's a drop in the oil bucket, if you think about it. Brazil spent $65 billion to put on this last World Cup, and now Qatar will just almost triple that. So, here we are looking at them having to build basically the entire infrastructure of everything that they're going to need, from stadiums to rails to everything.
Well, let's take a look at some of the stuff here, Mike. Stadiums. Well, that's the lowest on the list, like $4 billion.
Oh, yeah.
In stadiums. Hamad International Airport, $17.5 billion. Lusail City, $45 billion. You can put dollar signs in all the buildings around Qatar, and we're talking about bingo. A whole heck of a lot of moolah. A lot of moolah, and who's really going to be going there? You look at the international audience, obviously, for this. This is the first time it's being held in a Saudi Arabian country. So you think about Brazil, you think about where it was held in previous years, and you had an international influx of people going there. The stadiums, 80,000, 100,000. They're building stadiums for 45, 50,000 people. So they're anticipating a much lower amount of tourism and travel, but they have to build all this infrastructure up even to hold up half of what a country like Brazil had for this last World Cup. Well, that's what I'm saying, Mr. Money Pants, Mike Bacco. The money that Brazil spent on this is nothing. And, of course, they had all sorts of riots over there. People were complaining that, of course, they could spend it on infrastructure, dealing with the poor, the disenfranchised in their country. But you're not getting any of that kind of backlash in Qatar. Number one, it's a very rich country. And we're talking about, out of all the money they're spending, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mike, it's like only 10% of their outgoing income?
For a year. So this, you're looking at something, they're looking at this almost as if it's a marketing PR ploy. They thought about this when they put in their bid in 2010, and they're looking at this as a long-term strategy in terms of building up the name. But in a way, it's backfiring. You're looking at the amount of energy that FIFA officials are going to dispel bribery concerns. You're looking at us talking about how much they're putting into it. You're looking at an international audience that doesn't want their European game in Qatar.
But, Mike, I got to ask you a question. In all fairness to Qatar, you talk about a lot of countries that have huge games, the Olympics, the World Cup, all those kinds of things. After most countries build these infrastructures, do they really get any major use? I mean, you look at Beijing and that stadium that they have. What are they having over there? What are they running over there?
The bird's nest. It's now decaying. You look at the worst example out of this is you look at Athens in 2004 for the Olympics. Virtually all of their venues, rusted heaps of scrap metal.
A modern-day Acropolis.
Basically, yes. So you look at everything that is built. Very few cities have ever been able to turn that infrastructure into something usable. London was able to do it, so much so that they're thinking about Rio not being ready in 2016. They could still go back to London and get some use out of those stadiums. So they've been able to repurpose, but by and large, billions of dollars in, billions of dollars out to sponsors, to organizers like the Olympics and to FIFA. Not really much in terms of long-lasting value.
Mike, the bottom line is, I guess, in the long run, they lose money on this. They have the money. Only 10% of outgoing income for a year. Who really cares? I mean, does anybody really care about this?
I think people care because it seems like the game is going in a direction that they don't want it to go. They want it to be in a European country or a North American country.
And that still may happen.
And that still may happen because if more of these allegations come out, if more FIFA officials get behind having the games taken away, I think they're still going to build. Again, even if they spend $50 billion and they get one or two stadiums and some infrastructure out of it, it'll be a win for them in their mind.
I'll tell you what, 10%, you just sell that blue suit you have on there, they'll get back their money.
All right, there you go.
You didn't get that from today's man. Mike Bacco, thank you so much for your insight as always. Tomorrow on Exchange, big payouts for Wall Street whistleblowers.